The Monaco Grand Prix was an evening of glamour, drama, and strategy, except for Lewis Hamilton, that is. From muddled radio messages to a chilly post-race confrontation, Hamilton's rapport with his Ferrari engineer has come under intense scrutiny. Is the seven-time world champion already running short of patience with Ferrari? Or are we seeing merely the teething troubles of a new relationship? The 2025 Monaco Grand Prix did not go as Lewis Hamilton had intended. Although he came home in the points, Hamilton's race was marred by tension, most notably with his race engineer, Riccardo Adami. Throughout the race, their radio exchanges became more and more heated, and it was obvious that the two are still getting used to one another's style and expectations. Although Ferrari's overall race strategy was once again under the microscope, it was Hamilton's post-race comments that left fans and pundits puzzled. Many are now questioning whether Hamilton is beginning to voice the frustrations he's bottled up since the very first race of the season. One thing that's for sure is this: Lewis Hamilton departed Monaco an obviously upset driver. And it wasn't because of where he ended up, it was how he arrived there. Hamilton had originally qualified fourth on Saturday, a promising feat given the narrow confines of the Monte Carlo circuit. But a three-place grid penalty relegated him to seventh, immediately foiling his Sunday chances. Once the race started, Hamilton was able to pass Isaac Hadjar and Fernando Alonso, and for a split second, he thought a fight for P4 with Max Verstappen could be in the offing. But that too didn't last long. The deficit to the pack then increased to more than 40 seconds, a gap which was impossible to bridge on a circuit where passing is almost impossible. Following the race, Hamilton was questioned about that enormous time gap. Did he know where the pace disappeared? His response was icy and short: no. The press prodded some more, speculating about a miscalculated pit stop or a strategic mistake. Still, Hamilton stood firm. His voice was cold. No, he said once more. This flat effect suggested a more profound malaise, a sense that Hamilton was racing alone, but even thinking alone. He spoke of being in no man's land for most of the race. Starting seventh, he was behind slower cars early on, clearing them eventually, but the damage had already been done. I wasn't necessarily racing anyone, Hamilton said. I needed a safety car or something to mix things up, but that never materialized. From there, it was pretty simple. But that isolation wasn't the only aggravation he experienced. One such moment occurred when his race engineer, Riccardo Adami, radioed him, "Push now. This is our race." Hamilton, confused by the instruction, reacted afterward. It wasn't obvious. I didn't know what "this is our race" was saying. Was I racing for the car in front of me? Looking back at the stats afterwards, I wasn't near anybody. I wore out my tires trying to push in that instance. That uncertainty prompted a quiet but biting radio conversation. Near the end of the race, Hamilton queried Adami, "Are you angry with me or what?" The question incited heated argument among F1 pundits. Was Hamilton just venting? Or was that a sign of increasing distrust? Others feel that Hamilton was justified in looking for answers, particularly due to the persisting communication problems. Others think the comment might have been overstepping. Either way, there's no doubt that the working relationship between driver and engineer isn't there yet. Ferrari Team Principal Fred Vasseur was swift to play down any soap opera. He explained Ferrari drivers and engineers are being told to speak only at particular sections of the track, namely, the straights, so as not to distract the drivers in the corners. When a driver asks something between turn 1 and turn 3, Vasseur explained, we delay the response. It's not because we're asleep or having a beer on the pit wall. It's pre-agreed strategy. The driver is under pressure, doing 300 km per hour between the barriers. I'm okay with that. He added that when he spoke to Hamilton after the race, there was no indication of anger or resentment. Still, this marks the second incident, after Miami, where tension between Hamilton and Adami spilled over the airwaves. And with rival teams always watching for weakness, any cracks in Ferrari's internal communication could be exploited. To Hamilton's credit, he avoided becoming part of Ferrari's more controversial tactics during the race. While other teams deployed strategies like backing up opponents to help a teammate gain a pit stop window, Hamilton stayed clear of such drama. Completing P5 wasn't a disaster, and indeed marked his second successive top 5 finish, a testament that is slowly coming into form. But while Hamilton is having trouble bedding in, his teammate Charles Leclerc is prospering. With Leclerc finishing in second place at his home Grand Prix, the impetus at Ferrari has clearly shifted. Leclerc is becoming the de facto leader of the team, particularly considering his current position in the championship standings. It's a situation Ferrari supporters have witnessed time and again, when one driver finds himself the center of development and attention. If Leclerc continues to beat Hamilton, the team might tend towards backing their Monegasque ace for the rest of the year. At present, Hamilton is 6th in the Drivers' Championship, 16 points behind Leclerc. But here's a bitter pill for Hamilton supporters. He's got no race wins for the season and only 2 podiums to his name. His one-time teammate George Russell, only 20 points ahead, hasn't exactly gotten away with the leaderboard either. Remind them of something Ferrari made known at the beginning of the season. If the title fight makes them choose, they will have to favor one driver over another. Then, it was speculation. Now, it's beginning to become a real likelihood. Hamilton, in fact, approached Monaco more boldly than Leclerc. Following Imola, Leclerc had stated that simply making Q3 would be an achievement. But when the session ended, Leclerc was a mere 10th behind pole, whereas Hamilton could only muster P4. Leclerc's take on the race was cautious but articulate. "I'm not really satisfied. We lost the race on Saturday. We could have performed better. Lando deserved the win. But honestly speaking, I did not expect to be battling at the front this weekend. Being second here is beyond expectations." It's a reasonable point, and an indication that Leclerc is not merely racing quickly but also rationally. So what is in store for Ferrari? Well, the team expects that the next race in Barcelona will provide them with a better chance of challenging Red Bull and McLaren. If the new technical guidelines diminish the performance of the MCL39 and the RB21, then Ferrari would become a true contender. But with a quicker car, they require harmony. They can't afford radio miscommunication or emotional arguments during the race. Hamilton's words, "Are you upset with me?" are not something you want to hear via team radio when every second matters. Ferrari needs clarity. A simple, "We'll debrief after the race, good job," could go a long way in maintaining morale. The last thing this team needs is internal conflict, especially now that they're showing signs of podium potential again. If Hamilton and Adami cannot develop mutual trust, it will not be a one-time issue. It could be a season-long handicap. And if Leclerc continues to perform and dominate the points fight, Ferrari may decide who their priority is sooner rather than later. As we make our way to Spain, there is one question on everyone's mind. Can Hamilton bounce back and take over the reins of his Ferrari saga? Or will this be the year Leclerc consolidates himself as Ferrari's sole number one? So what do you think? Are the radio misunderstandings between Lewis Hamilton and Riccardo Adami teething issues, or symptoms of something more profound at Ferrari? Might this internal strife ruin their season? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you like the video, give it a like and subscribe for additional F1 analysis. And don't forget, another video awaits you right now on the screen. Click it, and we'll catch you there.